We are told to keep our voices low, our boundaries polite, and above all, to fear one specific question. Log kya kahenge? What will people say? Shame is society's most effective weapon. It keeps you small, it keeps you quiet, and it makes you predictable. But what happens when a person decides to become completely ruthlessly immune to it? Rakhi Sawant, for over 2 decades, the mainstream media has labeled her a joke, a clown, and a clout-chaser. But if you look past the noise through a dark psychology lens, you realize something terrifying. Rakhi Sawant is not a victim of the media, she is its absolute puppet master. Today, we are deconstructing the reverse psychology of shamelessness and how a girl born with nothing used the one thing society uses to break women to make herself completely untouchable. Before she was the queen of controversy, she was Neeru Bida. She grew up in extreme poverty in a Mumbai chawl. Her mother worked as a janitor. Her family survived on the discarded leftovers of neighbors. In her household, dancing was considered a sin. Her uncles would beat her badly just for practicing movements in secret. Sociology teaches us about a concept called impression management by Erving Goffman. It states that we all pay a character to fit into society's acceptable mold. Neeru Bida had two choices: play the respectable, quiet victim of her circumstances or shatter the stage completely. She stole money, ran away from home, and changed her name. When she entered Bollywood, she realized she couldn't compete with the star kids who had elite styling, diction, and manners. So she did something brilliant. She weaponized what the elite despised. She leaned into being loud. She leaned into being crass in a psychological concept known as radical acceptance. Rakhi looked at her lack of societal privilege and said, "If you are going to judge me anyway, I will give you a show so chaotic you can't look away." She killed Neeru Bida so Rakhi Sawant could survive. Think about the last time you felt embarrassed, your heart raced, you wanted the ground to swallow you whole. Why? Because human beings are terrified of being ridiculed. But Rakhi Sawant flipped the psychology of ridicule on its head. In psychology, there is a defense mechanism called self-deprecation mastery. If I laugh at myself first, your insults lose 100% of their power. When people mocked at her plastic surgeries, she didn't hide in shame or issue a PR polished apology. She looked straight into the camera and said, "God didn't give it to me, so my doctor did." With one sentence, she dismantled the fake, hypocritical standards of an entire industry where everyone gets work done but lies about it. By being shameless, she became the most honest person in the room. The moment you stop running from the joke, you become the person holding the microphone. Most people are paralyzed by their own ego. They care so deeply about maintaining a reputation that they become easily manipulated. If a brand, a boss, or a toxic friend threatens your reputation, they control you. In his legendary book, The 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene writes in Law 21, "Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark." Bollywood is a graveyard of one-hit wonders who were too proud to do smaller gigs, too elegant to cause a scene, and too fragile to handle rejection. Meanwhile, Rakhi Sawant has stayed relevant across 4 different decades. Why? Because she has zero ego blockages. She will do a reality show, she will stand on the street with paparazzi, she will start her own political party, win only 15 votes, and show up to the work next day completely unbothered. When you have no ego to protect, you have no vulnerabilities to exploit. You cannot blackmail a woman who has already exposed her own flaws to the public. You cannot humiliate someone who views your humiliation as free publicity. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and start fights on national television or copy Rakhi's exact aesthetic, but as a woman, you need to study the architecture of her survival. We live in a world that tries to control us by using microshame, telling us we are too loud, too quiet, or too ambitious or not enough. The Rakhi Sawant mindset is a reminder that shame is a social construct. It only works if you give it permission to enter your mind. The next time you're terrified of failing, of looking foolish, or of stepping out of your comfort zone, ask yourself, what would happen if I just stop caring about being perfect? Because a girl who is afraid of embarrassment is easy to control, but a girl who is utterly unafraid unapologetically shameless. She is unstoppable. Let me know in the comments which archetype we should deconstruct next. See you in the next video.